You can do this. Hey, it says we're live.
Well, it lies. Welcome to Live from the Blanket Fort, folks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And don't bother with the noodles. I already know about them. Remember, I did day work on a ranch. I already know about
uh, and
coffee.
it's one of those mornings, more ways than one. Uh, shut up, John.
I did. I looked at. I'm sick and tired of wearing long sleeve shirts. It's Texas. I'm tired of wearing long sleeve shirts. I looked. I had this lovely blue Hawaiian shirt or this one. I thought Jim doesn't have a whole lot of them like this. There's no way he's gonna wear one like this to the show today.
Good job.
What can I say? Uh, one thing I do want to start with is an interesting story, and it goes back quite a few years, 1949 to be exact. Uh, and that was the first year that the new U.S. Air Force had a Top Gun competition.
Okay.
And the interesting part was the winners.
I hope the winners were pilots.
Yes, they were,
Okay.
but they were the wrong pilots. It was the Tuskegee Airmen flying P-47s that won.
Up against P-51s.
Rock on.
The trophy mysteriously got lost.
Well, the I hate to say this, the P-51 Mustang was it's a beautiful, sexy aircraft.
Yeah.
But it's a little overrated.
Yeah.
The Thunder Jug, damn decent little aircraft.
Yeah.
Well, no, there's nothing little about it.
Well, but the rest of the story is I heard this in the early 90s in a doctor's office in Columbia, South Carolina. Because I looked in his office and there were two computers sitting on his desk. One was a regular computer. The other had two screens, had this funky chair sitting in front of it, and what looked like a set of rudder pedals sitting on the floor.
Oh, he had the full out sim experience going, didn't he?
Well, not only that, he happened to be a reserve F-16 pilot out of Shaw Air Force Base in South Carolina. And sitting on his mantle or desk, bookcase desk, was a miniature of the Top Gun Award that they had just won.
Great.
And he told me the story, and he said, yep, he said, we're the second bastards that they don't want to give the title to. And he told me the story about the Tuskegee Airmen winning the first one. Well, Colonel Harrell, Lieutenant Colonel Harrell, who is one of the Tuskegee Airmen that I was privileged to meet when they opened Udvar Hazy, put into Make-A-Wish Foundation to have that trophy with a plaque over it at Nellis Air Force Base. And the Make-A-Wish Foundation just completed that
Oh, wow.
and put that plaque over the first award. So good on them for doing that. Long overdue.
Well, you got the P-47. If you
We don't want Tom Cruise. You can have that little son of a bitch.
the P-47 had an issue with getting out of a dive. Apparently, bricks don't like to pull out of dives.
Well, it was basically going supersonic, and you kind of lose elevator and rudder control at that point because it's locked.
But it was a damn decent. It really was.
Well, it was probably one of the best air to ground, air to mud fighters.
Was the P-47 the one with the gold wing?
No,
No,
that's
that's Corsair.
the F4U Corsair,
Okay.
which is actually a better flyer than the P-51. A friend of mine over in Louisiana traded his P-51 for a P-40 or for an F4U Corsair.
What is wrong with our? Why? What's that big chunk of whatever? At the
Oh,
bottom of
that's crap that I screwed up and somehow or the other got in the middle of. I don't know.
Click, click.
There.
Ah,
Ah, okay, there we go. Yeah, RK. I, I knew one of the guys that had to rescue crews in the water sequence, and we cussed him for not just leaving the little sumbitch in there.
Here's your life vest. I know it looks like a cinder block, but trust me.
Yeah. Yeah, Cruz was not well thought of by any of the Navy personnel during Top Gun. And I'm quite honestly surprised that they put up with the little shit again.
Money talks.
At point.
I have a Tom Cruise story.
Okay.
Oh, this should be good.
So Tom Cruise came to Eugene, Oregon to film his movie about Prefontaine. And while he wasn't in the movie, he was on the production staff. And I was working wardrobe. And we were specifically told that we were not to look at him, not to talk to him, not to go anywhere near him, and do nothing in his neighborhood, which of course I completely ignored.
Bird dogging that short little shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he likes to claim he's like 5'8". I am 5'4" in my tennis shoes, and I was looking over his little head.
Hey, Don, it gets better. Just, get plenty of rest, drink a lot of fluids.
Lots of fluids, lots of broth.
Yeah.
The whole fighter thing during the fuck the 11th Battle of Malta.
Yeah.
There have been so many of them the last 7,000 years. When the Italian Air Force took on 3 Gloster Gladiator biplanes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which folks don't understand, the only reason the Italians got stopped in World War II was their hearts weren't in it.
Yeah.
The Italians are really good soldiers, and they had some fantastic airplane designs. And Malta had 3 biplanes, which were obsolete before they came off of the assembly line. And they were being flown by people that knew how to fly planes, basically ferry pilots.
Jonna.
What?
I can tell that it's somebody's pants.
The peanut gallery, folks. Anyway, so the people in the
And
Gloucester
that just broke Ian.
peanut gallery,
8 minutes.
the gladiators were the gladiators that Faith, Hope, and Charity that were defending Malta were being flown by people that knew how to fly planes because they ferried planes across various countries, but didn't know a damn thing about fighter piloting. And they still managed to stomp a mud hole in quite a few of the Italian Air Force's best planes.
Yeah, Brennan, he did. Sean, thank you for the comment about the little segment that I posted this morning. Interestingly enough, I've had one phone call and one email about that segment I posted this morning on my blog.
The phone calls are never good.
Yeah, no, it was somebody that's, well, I really don't want to embarrass you, but it's like, okay, we can talk. But I actually wrote that based on some research that I did from the University of Iowa on letters back and forth in the 1860s, 1870s.
Oh, you haven't been in the letter stacks at a panel of planes, have you?
No,
There's a bunch of.
I know. I want to get into those.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
The folks running Panhandle Planes had a change of command ceremony they forgot to invite us to or something, and we're having to reestablish our bona fides.
Yeah. So the comments were it was too wordy, and did they really discuss monetary issues in letters?
Oh, they totally did. That's
Yeah.
Richard, RAF pilots that were ferry pilots and cargo pilots.
Yeah.
Not a single one of them had any sort of fighter pilot training whatsoever or experience. And I believe one of them was the highest ranking English officer in Malta's aide de camp.
So I told him what I'd found in the letters, which included a discussion, quite a long discussion about the cost of producing cheese,
Okay.
down to how much it cost for the hay, how much it cost to process, what they could charge for it, and who they could sell it to. Which, yeah, but what I did screw up on, which was an excellent point, was pointed out to me in an email, is they didn't use contractions back in the 1800s.
Depends on the class and the geographical area.
They didn't use contractions the way we know them.
Yeah.
But they did use contractions.
True, but I'm trying to write it to the point where it's still readable today.
Yes.
So I went through, took all the contractions out and took one sentence out, put it back up. So that's what I was trying to do, Sean. Yeah. And the other screw up was I put instance instead of instant, which is the way they identified dates back then.
Oh. Okay. Richard points out the Brit governor of Malta was a certifiable religious loon. Y'all know how Malta wound up to be a British possession?
Yeah. This is an interesting story.
On the way to Egypt, Napoleon stopped off at Malta, garrisoned it, and the Maltese citizens were like, okay, whatever. And then after he moved off, the garrison force he left started seizing artifacts and auctioning them off, including De Villett's sword. And as soon as the French got their sticky little claws on De Villett's sword, and it went off to be auctioned, the Maltese people rose up in arms and pretty much confined the French occupation forces to Medina and Valletta and wouldn't let them out, which was a little embarrassing for the French. Wouldn't let them out. Couldn't get in because, hey, the Maltese built some really great fortified cities. So they couldn't get into their fortified cities to oust the French. And the French couldn't fight their way past the Maltese. Well, the Brits were sailing by, headed for Egypt to get their asses whipped, basically. And the Maltese went, hey, excuse us, can we borrow you for a second? And Brits went, what, ho, frogs? And evicted the Frenchmen. And sailed off on their merry way. Well, the Maltese got together and went, well, as far as the occupying force, English aren't bad. They trim their fingernails. They don't drink before bed. So about 6 months later, they send a formal note to the House of Commons, I think.
Yeah.
No, it might have been the King.
House of Lords.
It's the British government saying, very well, we accept. And apparently, the Prime Minister asked the shadow minister, what the hell's a Malta? And they sort of stumbled into owning Malta.
Yep.
So basically, they would, up until it got very popular in the 60s, Malta was kind of a place you sent, here's, Admiral Lord Pugsley. Go to Malta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Napoleon did
He
get driven
didn't
out.
attack it. He just kind of walked on shore.
Yeah, and then they kicked him out.
The Brits kicked him out. The Maltese got really pissed off. They just, I think 10 years ago, got De Villett's sword back because the governor that Boney left on Malta was not very smart and started auctioning off all the artifacts from the Knights of Malta and the Catholic churches. And when they got a hold of De Villett's sword, and the locals went, where the hell's De Villett's sword? And the French said, we have sold it. The locals lost their minds.
Donna.
Hello. How are you?
Interrupt y'all.
That's okay. It happens all the time. She is, allegedly.
How's it going?
Yeah, Bill, that's great news that Mass
Oh,
put
well
in a good
done.
word for you.
Oh, well done.
Yes. Because Mass doesn't do that often.
Moss is good, folks.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here to tell you that when De Villette the Grand Master of the Knights of Malta during the siege of Malta is as close to a high holy saint as you're going to find on Malta.
Sarah, stop it.
I'm not even gonna, I'm not even gonna, nope, 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 I'm not even gonna, nope.
Yeah. Instance, it's instant, Sean, is the way it was actually used in writing, meaning that particular month and date.
The thing about the contractions that they used in writing back then were not, you can't really do them in writing on modern text.
No.
Because the contractions, like the contraction for Charles was chas, which is where
Yeah.
we get chas. And it would be C and then big C, little superscript HAS.
Yeah.
Or subscript HAS. It's why in McMurtry, we have that superscript C.
Yeah.
Between the first M and the second M. It's said with McNabb. Anything Scotland or Scottish or Irish, when you have a Mac name, a lot of times you'll have that superscript or subscript C. That's contraction for Mac, M-A-C.
Yeah. Maltesers, whole new meaning. Yeah.
The puns.
Yeah.
Maltese puns are just kind of easy.
Sarah, of course you're not right.
You're on
None
the,
of none
you're,
of the Sarahs we know are right.
you're on this chat. Trust me, that goes a long way to proving you ain't right.
But it's things like that that I like getting the feedback from the readers, because it helps me to make the story better. And Scots were too drunk to write out the whole thing.
It was the British doing the writing.
Yeah. Well, there's normal and then there's normal.
Because trust me, anybody that's seen written Scottish, it doesn't matter how drunk they are. There are a whole lot of extra letters in there.
It's almost as bad as the Welsh.
Oh, almost.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
You want to talk about little, talking about little people.
Tom Cruise.
Scotland. Macrahanish, Campbell, Scotland, Campbelltown, has the original Clan Campbell Scott. Yeah. Yeah, we're picking up subscribers. Where was I? Oh, yeah.
Campbell Scottish.
Clan Campbell, Scotland. They have the original castle with the original hand-drawn plans from the 12th century. And they have a suit of armor in there that's dinged up, banged up, stuffed over in kind of a corner that's about 5'4". And that was the Campbell. And the sword is damn near as big as he was. And I said, oh yeah, well, he was not exactly large, but he was fierce. And I'm looking at that sword and looking at that armor and going, yeah.
Well, there's that probably apocryphal story during the raising of one of the Highland regiments. They had a young man show up that wanted to, and stick a pin in that. We need to discuss that here in a second. There was a young man showed up, and he was tiny, and the colonel that was doing the hiring said, "We can't take you, lad. You're too small."
Yeah.
And so, I'm wee, but I'm wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Bill. For those of you that will be listening to this before, Mead Hall Range just said, "Hey, Jim and Ian, the hell did it go? It just disappeared."
Right there.
Okay. Nope. Okay. We need to do some type of event up here, author gathering and range day.
We can do that.
Is there any interest in an author gathering and range day up in mid Oklahoma? Because we could probably arrange something.
I'm sure we could. Might even invite a few folks.
We need to invite some folks.
Yeah, we can work on that.
Bill pinged me and reminded me about that because, yeah, that's actually an author gathering arrange day, whole bunch of authors, something like what Larry did up at his.
Yeah.
Because we got some authors that need to learn which end of the bang stick is the bad end.
Yeah. Yeah, DW, that had to be interesting. Campbell and McDonald, only in America, yeah.
Ooh,
So that's Hatfields, McCoys in one person.
yeah, going way back.
Yeah,
Glencoe, as a matter of fact.
yeah.
Anybody that ever gets to Scotland, you need to go visit the Valley of Glencoe, where the Campbells betrayed the McDonald's. It's a spooky place. It's a trap. There's two of them. Joke goes all the way back to Roman times, by
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. We've already got people signing up to come.
What?
We've already got people. Yeah, let's do it. How many guns do I need to bring?
Bloody hell, folks! Give me time to wrap my mind around this before you start signing up for it.
No.
Hush.
Can't blame this one on Donna.
No.
Men are questionable. The cows are scared. No, that's sheep. Sanford sheep. You got to
That's
get in the
Wales.
right part of
No,
the world.
That's Wales. Wales is Highland coos. Rita absolutely cows. Rita absolutely adores Highland coos. About half the time, there's a picture of this emo redhead cow on her laptop because she loves the coos.
Oh, that had to have been interesting, Sean. Was there a peace treaty signed prior to the two of them getting on the committee? Oh, movers and turners. Oh.
Shit.
Well, we created another monster.
Crap. This is not going to be an annual thing. We are not doing this as an annual thing. I refuse.
Now it's an annual.
Shut up. I refuse to do this as an annual thing.
David, I wish we could, but there's a simulator.
David moved to Texas. Everybody else is.
Well, McFarland. Oh.
No. This is a one-time thing.
Uh-huh.
Why do I bother? Why do
One
I
time in
bother?
each location.
Yeah.
Had to do
Why the fuck do I
Oklahoma,
bother? I don't.
Kansas.
Oh, by the way, Jesse, I have to apologize. Auto Corrupt got me this morning when I was doing a or a Facebook post and had some people questioning your sexuality.
That's okay. Jen Cameron posted about her Coke slaw. I said, I hope it's a caramel colored sweet beverage you're using for your slaw and not something that's going to give me Forrest Whitaker eye.
Eastern Tennessee is a beautiful, beautiful part of the state. You just can't see far enough because of the trees.
Cedar, you're doing the hunting anthology. I'm not.
Yeah.
I turned in stories. I have to admit, I turned in some stories, but I'm not doing a hunting anthology. I refuse.
Anyway, we have a young lady who's a local artist named Jessie Baggett, and Auto Corrupt changed that to Jessie Barrett this morning.
That's what you were talking about.
Yeah. And I had people sending me messages going, I thought Jessie Barrett was a guy. And I had to go back and, oh, shit. Bag it. Yes, Jessie is a guy. So I apologize, Jessie. It was all my fault. And that was on Facebook, not on the blog, which just makes it even worse. Yeah, you saw it after the correction. Good. Anyway, Miss Baggett is a very interesting artist. She has a twist to her artwork, I guess is the best way to put it. If you could see the picture in the background, it's a buffalo wearing a Stetson.
It's a bison wearing a Stetson.
Buffalo bison, whatever. But the one of the paintings that she did down in Dallas in this competition was horsehair. Was a horse's head with a hair sitting on top of it, as in a rabbit.
Boing, boing. Okay.
Yeah. And that's kind of the style that she does. It's very, very interesting style of painting. And
He's picking it. Nice and popping him on the head.
yeah.
No, wait.
Oh, Doug, what'd you do to get banned?
There's a list about 250 completely innocent things that you banned on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Oh, bowler hat would have been better. No, this is Texas. You don't do those funky hats.
Those things are solid.
A large quadruped by any other name. This is true.
Yeah, no kidding. I got thumped on Facebook for a joke I made 8 years ago. And it's like, you guys are pulling my backlist this deep. I must piss somebody off. Woohoo!
No,
Me. Go me.
They've trolled most of us.
I'm sure it's just an algorithm. But
Yeah. I'm trying to remember somebody. I saw something earlier today. Somebody has apparently fallen afoul of Amazon's algorithm now, or the same one from Facebook, and he's no longer allowed to post reviews on books.
wow.
He's perma-banned from posting reviews.
I don't mind the perma banning. I really don't. If you are Nazi fascist numbnuts enough to want to perma ban somebody off your business, that's fine. That's on you. But there needs to be a rule somewhere that you have to explain why.
Well,
This is why you're getting stumped. I'm tired of getting thumped on Facebook, and half the time I don't know why I got thumped.
well, and it's the same thing on Amazon. We used to be able to comment back to the reviewers. That went away.
Oh,
Now they don't even have to say anything. They can just leave you a 1-star review and go on. You don't know who did it because nothing shows up.
And that really annoys me.
Yeah.
I don't mind the 1-star reviews. I like the 1-star reviews actually, as long as it's a proper 1-star, and they're actually griping about, or they're 1-starring you for something and they explain why. I got a 1-star and I petitioned Amazon to get that thing kicked off. I had a 1-star review because my book showed up with a crumpled cover.
Yeah.
And they 1-starred me because Amazon can't pack shit worth a damn. I got a 1-star.
Yeah.
And they were going to let that ride until I bitched enough about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, Sanford. Mike Z is banned. He's running out of spare profiles.
I don't know how the hell that man keeps track of his profiles.
Yeah. Koala, I would love to see pictures of that toolbox. What I think it is, somebody probably should have turned that toolbox back in before they left. Three
bannings ago on Facebook, stint in the cooler, and the original I got griped at by because I told some liberal snowflake that said, somebody posted something about how when the glorious social revolution came about, they would start farming their free range rutabagas or what the hell ever. I said, no, you'll do what you're told, or you'll get a bullet in the head as a lesson to the rest of them to do what they're told. So Facebook hooked me up. I went, and they said, you've been hooked up. I typed, oh, fuck you, Facebook, as my response.
Yeah.
And they lifted the banning for telling this bimbo what would happen, but stuck me 30 days because I said, fuck you, Facebook.
Yeah. 1-star review. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting, Koala.
What?
I'm just, while you've been yapping, I've been reading the comments. Uh, Sarah says, so it was literally because of the governor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if it was self-made tools, I'm betting he was an engine mechanic in all probability, probably on radial engines.
I wanted cat food, but actually bought a lot of files instead. Yeah.
Well, my 1 star for this book is nothing but a bunch of short stories that was titled Vignettes.
Vignettes.
Yes.
That's Latin for short stories.
Yeah.
Nuts.
I don't know anybody out here that needs any 50 Beowulf.
The only one I can think of is the Game Warden. Does he have Fit Beowulf or is he 458 SOCOM?
Thought he had a 458, so
He might.
Tyler, yeah.
Tyler has something, and then Brognar the Magnificent on the Warrant team has a 50 Beowulf. There's a lot of people in the bloody chat today.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, Josh, that's working on radial engines a lot of times takes some interesting tools depending on your hand size. Because a lot of those were assembled by women with small hands. There is no other freaking way around it.
Oh, yeah.
Because there are some things that you can't, I mean, my hands are medium sized. And places that literally I could not reach in to check the safety wire that I was supposed to check every day on pre-flight.
I wear in mechanics gloves, which I love mechanics gloves. I wear medium. And they're not exactly snug. So I don't have big hands. And Rita, I was swearing something in the furnace. And this little hand goes past me and she goes half delay down her forearm, gets it, says, here you go. It's like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. Thought it was vinaigrette salad dressing and they were disappointed. Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me. People, I don't mind honest 1-stars. If there's something that I wrote that you give me an honest 1-star review, I like that. That's helpful. Anything that helps me hone my craft, I'll take it. I'll take a 1 or 2-star review if it's honest.
Yeah.
A lot of them are bullshit. I don't. 1-star review. This book had a forward from Larry Correa, so I got a 1-star review. Amazon should have pulled that before it even went up.
Yeah. Yep. Smaller hands and lower wedges, and also more attention to detail, Sean.
Oh, yeah.
Women are much more detail oriented than men ever will be.
Well, also, they do fine work better.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I'm here to tell you, if the United States military pull its head out and open up sniper to women, women make hella long range shooters. They really do.
Yeah.
Especially with the lighter 6.5 millimeters. That light rapid heartbeat doesn't disturb the sight picture much at all.
Well, they can also slow their heartbeat too.
Yeah, but they've got a rapid right. They've got those hummingbird hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah, rapid right. They don't got wham, wham, wham. It doesn't disturb the sight picture. And then those little hands can work a trigger like nobody's business.
Yeah, we had one of those that shot at Quantico. Cute, bouncy little blonde, about 5'3", with her own Mark 82. And she would get down on that gun and wiggle around, and everybody would go, hmm. And she'd touch off 4 or 5 rounds at a time. And you look at the target, and at 1,000 yards, they're about a 5-inch group.
Well,
At
remember
1,000 yards.
remember Jen Hast on the 50?
Yeah.
Jen Hast got a cat suit from somewhere, and she put on a cat suit to shoot the 50. And most people are watching her touch off a 50 in a cat suit because that's what you do. And then I looked downrange, and at 750 yards, she was keeping all those rounds on a 3x3 sheet of plywood.
Yeah.
Like, holy butts.
Sarah, I do believe you're correct. I cannot remember the woman's name.
Sanford Bailey, honest 1-star review of Live for Blankenford. Sometimes even though it's almost 5 minutes to start rants and profanity.
I think Pavlichenko is right.
Ludmilla?
Yep, I think that is her. Yes, Josh, 5 inches at 1,000 yards. She also happened to be a Capitol Police sniper. So yeah, and had been trained by the folks at Quantico, and that we routinely shot with. It's really interesting when you think you know what you're doing with a rifle.
I'm not getting broken today. I don't care.
You've already been broken.
No, I haven't. Nope.
But it's really interesting when
I refuse to believe it.
you get trained by people that do this for a living. And can't tell you how much I learned in 10 years of shooting, well, 15 years of shooting at Quantico. A lot of it picked up just, in the side comments. And we had one guy, Al Huspeth, was probably one of the best spotters I've ever seen and would have been an excellent coach for a national shooting team. He coached a bunch of us, but he could sit behind you with a spotter scope and pick up the sonic trace in your bill and tell you where you were hitting.
That one long range ranch down in the hill country that's been setting all the long range records.
Yeah.
The reason why they're doing so well is there's an atmospheric condition that happens fairly often down there that the bullets will actually leave a vapor trail.
Oh yeah, well most bullets do.
Yeah, but most bullets you can't see, but apparently here you can actually see them.
He could see them.
Yeah, well. And Don just said that Ian, that's being assigned a challenge. I'll just stop reading comments. Problem solved. Problem staying solved.
Then Jonna makes a comment, you're broken again.
I just won't listen to her.
Good luck.
Yeah, the DWL had probably 20/10 vision. Guy had amazing vision, but he could coach people too, and literally coach people into the X on a 1,000-yard target. That's how good he was. But yeah, we shot some interesting matches down there. Yes, there's a bit of bang going on sometimes. And sometimes it was the old farts against the young kids, and sometimes it was, well, I've been out shooting you for 30 freaking years and I can do it again.
Do we actually have 25 people?
Oh yeah. Yeah, at least.
Only 25.
Jelly Bryce. Jelly Bryce was a
Holy gods.
Oklahoma cop who became an FBI agent and used to shoot demonstrations using his diamond pinky ring as the sighting object.
Yeah, shooting over his shoulder.
Shooting over his shoulder or laying down with his pinky in the trigger and sighting through his ring.
He's the one who used to sign his name with his Thompson.
Yeah.
He could watch the bullets in flight.
Yeah.
And everybody thought there was no way, and then he proved it.
Yeah. Yep. Of course. He also happened to be to have practiced a lot over the years.
Well, he grew up he's one of these folks, a lot like Bill Jordan.
Yeah.
They grew up, he would, a 22 rifle and 3 rounds of ammunition. He better bring back 3 rabbits.
Yeah.
And if he didn't, the family starved.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, he hosted FBI training for decades. Yeah.
Yeah, the Jelly Bryce, one of the things,
Sarah, depends on whether you're counting current or former.
no, she's talking about the people in the one of the things, you get these folks that are geniuses at doing stuff. Jelly Bryce was a genius shooter. He's also when I say shooter, I'm talking about shooting in the combat sense. He could and would pull a trigger.
Yeah.
Where a lot on somebody when a lot of people wouldn't. However, since he was a genius, the way he did things wasn't standard.
Yeah.
But it worked for him, so everybody went, well, if it works for Jelly, it should work for everybody.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the case.
The crouch.
Yeah, the FBI Crouch.
Yeah.
Which, honest to God, that also came from Fairbairn and Sykes, and they were the same way. They were geniuses in fighting.
Yeah.
Not necessarily shooting, but those men were deadly at fighting, and they were good at it. They fought the way they fought the way Mozart played piano.
Yeah.
And so, well, if it works for them, it worked. No, it doesn't work for everyone because not everybody's Fairbairn and Sykes.
One of the more interesting stories about that was them doing a raid in an alley and not realizing they were crouching as they went down the alley. And after the raid was over, they started walking back down the alley and realized that piano wire was at neck height for 50 yards down the alley. They had actually walked under it and never seen it.
Well, it happens.
Yeah.
It happens. Yeah, they're probably right. It's 20 NSA agents because our NSA agents say, you kind of listen to what these idiots are doing now.
Yeah.
So 20 of them are going, oh, we got to watch this.
Jerry, they did and they didn't.
Well, Ed McGivern didn't.
Yeah, Topper wines. That's just absolutely friggin' amazing. One interesting part on the Topper wines, if you remember the movie about the Winchester 73 starring Jimmy Stewart,
Never seen it.
Great movie.
great movie. There is a sequence in there where he shoots a stamp and a coin. That was actually Topper wine. And according to the mythology, Jimmy Stewart said, how many times can you do that? And he said, how many times can you throw it up?
Well, Ed McGivern, and there was that one that shot for LAPD back before they got stupid on guns. Were busting aspirins at 25 yards.
Yeah.
And I can't even see the aspirin, and they're breaking the damn thing.
Yeah, he was part of the fast draw crowd too.
Yep.
Oh God, what was his name?
It wasn't Fell. It was the other guy.
Yeah.
He was a sergeant. He always did the shooting competitions in a full dark blue long sleeve with the tie.
Yeah.
And he'd do these shooting competitions. He'd break aspirins, and he did stuff that whole LA City Council would have a collective conniption fit over.
Yeah.
If they even knew what was happening. Might have been the SO.
He was
pretty
SO.
Was he SO?
Dang it, Dale something or other. And he was also a motorcycle nut and rode motorcycles for years. He's in that damn picture too.
That throwaway joke I did about the NSA agent, I call them agents.
Yeah.
Yes, you're agents. Get out. There's a Dilbert cartoon going around that we're getting tagged in a lot. It's Wally, and there's a guy in a suit with glasses and a cane, and said, something on the lines of, "I've been watching your social media, and half of my department is blind, and the other half's needing counseling." And Wally says, "Sounds like not my problem." And the agent says, "We'd like to weaponize you." We keep getting tagged in that.
Yeah, Bill, it was both the Topper wines were amazing shots. And they shot for either Winchester or Remington with 22s. And it got to the point they ran out of wooden blocks, I think on the third day. And they started throwing up the pieces that he'd broken the first 2 days. And he kept going, and over 25,000 and missed like 100 in 4 days, which is just amazing.
Well, Annie Oakley.
Yeah.
Annie Oakley's still one of the absolute fantastic shots.
Yeah. And she married Frank Butler.
Who was also good.
Yeah. But these are people that fired, like Jerry Micklich told me years ago that he fired over 1 million rounds in practice. Who knows how many rounds those people fired?
Oh God.
The lady that Rhodes, Kim Rhodes.
I hate thinking what her shoulder looks like.
But she's fired. She said she's fired over 1 million rounds of shotgun.
Yeah,
12
gauge. 12 gauge.
Bob Mundine, practice freak.
Bob Mundine. Yeah. Well, he's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
He's a little bit of both.
Well, Richard Jerry said he'd been shooting so long that they gave him ammo for free. The eugenics of sharpshooters. It's two things: hand and eye coordination and practice.
Well, yeah,
That's really what it comes down to. It's hand eye coordination and practice.
hand-eye coordination, and in some cases, like the lady sharpshooters, it's the simple fact that um, lighter, faster heartbeat, less blood to move around, less disruption,
Yeah.
and greater manual dexterity.
Well, the manual dexterity is always part of it. We did, and I think I've told this story before, but we did some testing back in the mid 20 teens out in Pacific on some systems, and we needed to basically instrument the aircraft to look at the amount of wing roll that we were seeing. And we flew 8 missions, and 4 were flown by women, 4 were flown by men. The 4 missions flown by women were smoother, more accurate, and more stable than the 4 missions flown by guys. Just for the
That's
simple,
right.
you know, the women would roll it up exactly on a bank ankle, hold it, roll back out, and be dead flat level. And the men would tend to chase both sides. Yeah, that 1,000-yard shot with a revolver. It was also a good bit of luck to that.
Yeah, and with a 9mm revolver.
Yeah.
That was damn. Well, and Lena's mom,
Yeah. Kay Micklick,
Kay Micklick. Have you seen her
better
shoot?
known as
Kay Clark.
Kay Clark. She is Jim Clark Sr.'s daughter.
I mean, there's a picture of the 3 of them.
Yeah.
And there's a whole, as somebody said, there's a whole lot of burnt in that picture.
Yeah. Yeah, DW is exactly right. Well, Brennan, it just means that you know not to piss her off.
Well, I've had a crap ton of training, both provided by agencies and the government, and on my own because I like shooting. And Rita got a little 9mm Ruger training. One of the new PC9s. We got it we retrofitted it with the Glock magwell, and she can clean a plate rack at 100 yards more often than I can. And she doesn't have the training I do. She likes shooting. She doesn't have the ego to go with it, and unfortunately, I have an ego. And
It ain't so.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a hold of Michael at Swamp Fox and stick a red dot sight on that thing and see exactly how far she can run that thing out. With iron sight, she can clean a 100-yard plate rack with a 9mm rifle. I'll go 8 or 9 for 10. She'll go
Yeah.
10 for 10.
DW, Julie is good.
And she's a sweetheart.
She embarrassed the hell out of me at the NRA in DC once.
She's a really a sweetheart.
Yeah. I'm not that good with a pistol. I'll be the first one to admit it. I can get aiming at, but I'm not going to put them in a 10 ring all the time. But I was up there practicing with my Carry 45, and I saw this target in the next lane go out 10 yards.
You keep going, you keep going, you keep going.
No, it stopped at 10 yards, but it had the little 1-inch shooting C's off the sides of the shooting C, big shooting C
yes.
targets.
The ones that nobody uses.
Nobody uses, and there were 16 of them. And I'm practicing, drawing fire, drawing fire, drawing fire. I start hearing this pop, 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 pop. Not gonna, whatever. I go back to what I'm doing. So I finished ran out of ammo, started bringing my target back in. That target starts coming back in. And I glance over, and every one of those 16 shooting C's had 2 bullet holes. And I looked over, and here's this cute little lady standing there, and she's got kind of grinning. And I looked over at her, and you look familiar. She goes, "Hi, I'm Julie Golub." And I said, "Hi, I'm an idiot, and I'm gone." Packed up my stuff and left. But Julie she really is a very personal young lady. And she started with AMU. She was a Army pistol shooter
Really?
competition, yes.
I know that.
She's delightful.
And she is a hoot, much like Anita.
Butch Anita.
Tiny Purple Demon.
Oh, Annette.
Annette, yeah. Now that one, Annette is an absolute hoot.
Yeah, she is. She's a sweetheart too.
She,
She's something else. Tiny Purple Demon's a really good name for her.
yeah, that dinner over in Dallas was hilarious.
Yeah, it was. She also, Annette has a web page on her own.
Yeah.
Kathy Jackson and Annette Evans are the two ladies I tend, if I get a woman who wants to shooting, I send her to Kathy Jackson's Cornered Cat page and to Annette Evans on her own page.
Yeah.
Those two, both Kathy and Annette, are fantastic shooters, great trainers, and have a insight I'll never have.
Yeah.
So if there's a woman that wants to ask me about shooting, I always send them to Kathy Jackson, Cornered Cat, and Annette Evans on her own.
And Annette also put out a book on dry firing, which
Yes, she
is
did.
excellent.
And she squeed and gave me a signed copy when I
Yeah.
met her too, which really freaked me out.
Yeah, they, but Annette, when we had the get together down in Dallas, we went to the, one of the Brazilian steakhouses.
Oh, Texas de Brazil.
And
Me.
she had never been around us at that point.
Nope. She had no idea what to
Yeah.
expect.
She had no idea what she was walking into.
No, she didn't.
And Matt Guess walked in, and she was damn near looking straight up at him.
Yep.
And
The
Kelly
mou-
Grayson was
A
there,
mountain that walks like a man.
and there were a number of other of us that were there. And Annette finally said at one point, she said, "I can't believe y'all." She said, "Here I was expecting something totally different than what I've got."
We are never what people expect. Ever.
Bill, she is super people.
And that's good, folks.
Yeah. You will really enjoy her. And if you've got any women that want to learn, get them there for her.
Her and what was her name? Pixie.
Oh, crap. Don't give me. I can't remember names for shit.
And the terrible thing is I remember names on the online names, and I have cornbread hell with actual paint names. What the hell's Pixie's actual Danger Pixie? What the hell's her actual name?
I'm drawing a blank. Anyway,
She teaches with John Johnston. She does that fundamentals course.
oh,
What the hell's her name?
I can't remember. Laura.
I'm drawing a complete total blank.
Yeah.
Bill, help me out here. That's
Melody,
it, Melody. Yes. Melody's good people, and she's a hell of a trainer.
Yeah.
Really good trainer. I don't know why the hell I couldn't remember her name.
Well, people got too many damn handles and everything
No
else.
kidding. It's a terrible, like I said, I remember Danger Pixie. I can't remember
Yeah.
Melody. I remember Tiny Purple Demon, but Annette gives me hell.
Yeah, yeah, Sarah. That's pet name sometimes.
Well,
That's one of the problems of being military and having a call sign. People still remember my call sign. They still don't know what my damn name is.
well, okay. I'll do you one better than that. It's being a moderator of firing line. People come up, "Hi, I'm George. Who the hell are you?"
Yeah.
I was Fried Cat. Oh, from TFL.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was 20 years ago. God.
Have we met Bridget from Muffins? Oh, hell yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Took her to a steakhouse in Lawton one time. Actually, it was Outback.
Yeah.
For those of you whose only access to a chop house is Outback, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
That's
RK,
the first time eating an Outback, and I was not impressed.
RK, Bridget used to fly me around on the
course
West
she did.
Coast when she was an airline pilot and I was still active duty Navy.
Of course you did.
Flew multiple times up and down the coast with her.
Of course you did.
Kind of interesting. How small the world really is.
Just for you.
That's
That's that's one of the things
yeah, but I'm an old fart. I've been around a while.
between Jim and Rita. The joke is that you're at the you're in the crowd at the Basilica, and who the hell's up there on the balcony with Jim Curtis? Or Rita will get off a boat in Antarctica, and a penguin will jump up and go, Rita, how the hell you been? Long time no see.
Cat Ainsworth, yes.
Cat's good people.
Yes.
I like Cat. Cat's good people. She comes up to visit us every now and then, and she needs to come up more often.
Yeah. And we get to see the little one.
And we get ammo.
Yeah, and we get ammo. And her husband Dusty is a nice guy and a damn good shooter.
Hell of a good guy. And they got the teacup human that is absolutely adorable.
Yeah, there is an interesting group that's gathering in this part of the country. And that's breaking in more than anything else. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but the first time, I mean, if I go to a chop house, which Americans call a steakhouse, if I go to a steakhouse, it's either going to be Brazilian, Fogo de Chao, or Brazil, Texas de Brazil, or something local. Itchy Paw, McBride's at Itchy Paw.
Yeah.
It's a little local chop house. Really great chow. Really great food. Oh, speaking of, have y'all priced meat these days?
Yeah.
Holy gods. Beef is getting stupid.
Probably the best restaurant I ever ate in was Young's down in Slidell, Louisiana. It was in a subdivision. It was a house.
Yeah.
And they served beef, and that was it.
If you have to eat at a chain steakhouse, Saltgrass is by far the best.
Yes.
They tell me Ruth Chris's is really great, but honest to God, I've eaten at Ruth Chris's and then I ate at Saltgrass, and the steak was just as good at Saltgrass and about a quarter of the price.
Yeah. I ate at Ruth's Chris in New Orleans, was not impressed. Yeah. I would dearly love, Richard, a good Mongolian barbecue here. I miss that so much.
Well, we won't get one since Jody Wade got stupid.
Yeah.
We have a local businessman
Yeah.
that tends to get franchises and then neglect to pay the sales or the whatever taxes. And then the franchise gets seized by the locals because, hey, he hasn't been paying his damn taxes. So we've got several chains that won't move into Itchy Paw because anybody that takes over the franchise, first thing you gotta do is pay off a whole bunch of back taxes.
Oh yeah, Bill. I forgot about Cattleman's. I haven't been there in years. That's one of the oldest restaurants in Oklahoma City. That's good.
Texas Roadhouse isn't bad for chain steaks, for a chain steakhouse. The only issue I have with Texas Roadhouse is, damn, it's loud in there.
Yeah. I'm sorry, RK. Usually Saltgrass has been good to us.
Yeah, every time.
Senator's daughter in San Antonio or San Angelo.
Now, Rita tells me
make a
that
trip down that way anyway.
Stampede 66, is that it?
Yeah.
Is good down in Fort Worth. And Fort Worth's supposed to have some of the best. Fort Worth's supposed to have some of the best steakhouses in the world. Oh,
worst restaurant? That's easy. Amarillo Jack's or Texas Jack's.
We did have a Genghis Grill. Guess what? They neglected to pay their damn taxes and got seized for non-payment of taxes.
Yeah.
If you were waiting for someone to start talking crap to put things back, you waited for what?
Yeah. Talking about food production.
Oh.
Yeah, that's something that
Highlander's good.
Yeah.
Highlander here in Itchy Paw, Highlander Pub in Itchy Paw Falls is a Texas English pub fusion. Decent food.
Yeah.
Really decent. Stout. They have a Guinness coffee stout that is to die for.
Yeah, they also do full English breakfast on Sundays.
Oh God, yes they do. Oh yes they
It'll
do.
feed a family of 4.
Oh, or me after working out.
Yeah. Yeah, easily the worst restaurant's the one in Amarillo that has the 72-ounce steak.
Oh yeah, no,
Used to be Texas Jack's. I don't remember what it is now.
it's hell. There's signs all over the
Yeah.
287. I can't remember what the hell it's called. Big Texas.
Big Texas.
Big
Yeah,
Texas.
that's it.
Um,
Don't ever go there. God, the
if you do go there, don't order the steak.
steak sucks.
Any of the steaks. So I've been told the chicken's not bad, but it's a tourist trap.
Yeah.
And the 72-ounce steak is a roast.
Yeah.
And you can't cook a roast on the grill properly. If you get a decent sear on the outside, the center's cold. I do love a hot red center on a steak. He doesn't.
Yeah.
I love.
I've seen what comes out of steaks when they're made into steaks.
I know what kills those things and the proper temperature to do it. And you find that right at the edge between rare and medium.
Yeah, you keep on down that road.
I love a good thick steak with a crust and a rare to medium rare right on that border. And you can't do that with a roast. I don't care. That would not weigh 72 ounces. You can't do that with a roast.
Yeah, the one thing you need to think about is buying flour, anything wheat products,
Oh yeah.
because
Wheat.
Ukraine is the bread basket of Europe.
And the U.S. a lot of our wheat has been a lot of the land dedicated to wheat's been kicked over to ethanol corn
Yeah.
because of the fucking subsidies.
Yeah.
If you want to, no, they don't do it anymore. Used to, there's a place in Decatur on Courthouse Square called Sweetie Pie's Ribeyes. And what they do is they take a ribeye steak and they chicken fry it.
Yeah.
And used to, they would take a nice big and they would wrap it in brown craft paper and drop it in a big vat of boiling pine.
Yeah.
And then when it was your time, when you ordered your tater, they'd fish around and yank out a lovely,
Pine tar tater.
and you couldn't eat the skin. And I tend to eat the skins. I eat the skin. But Rita was telling me last time she was there, they weren't doing those anymore.
Well, folks, we've wasted another hour and 3 minutes of your time.
Holy crap, we have.
Thank you very much. Welcome to the new subscribers. I hope it was worth it. And if not, we don't play by the rules. We have no rules.
There are rules.
Yeah, we don't have an agenda.
And we don't usually have a topic.
Yeah.
You don't stay on topic. We never have a topic.
Yeah.
We generally wind up talking about food somewhere along in there, and I swear, anybody that reads my
Food, shooting.
hey, cussing.
Gussing,
Anybody
yeah.
that reads my blog is usually shocked when they come on because my blog is family friendly. I don't cuss. That's not how I am in real life. I swear like a New Haven fishwife.
Yeah.
Trust me. There will be cussing.
And we do not intentionally try to break in, contrary to what he says.
The hell you say.
I'm glad we are providing a distraction for folks.
And breaking in.
That was why we started this, was something different. And
Well, we started this 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We started this independently.
Yeah.
I started and I set up my laptop to have a nice shot of the yard so nobody could see me. And I was reading my stories because I thought that in the midst of all the panic, people need something calm. And Jim started doing something. He's a lot more people friendly than I am, so he was doing it with his face right there.
Yeah.
And for the same reason, just to give folks something to think about other than the induced panic.
Yeah.
And we sort of, what the hell, we'll do it together.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, I hid off to the side where you couldn't see me.
Yeah.
And then this one started turning the camera, and I didn't see him doing it.
So I broke him first. And on that
Yes.
note, folks,
Y'all be safe.
remember, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.